Hey, what's up guys? We're back again with our broken mortar bait deck incorporating the evolved barbarians. The ranked 10 player in the world only uses this mortar deck. When you're spamming spear goblins, goblin gangs, and skeleton king abilities absolutely everywhere, your opponents are going to be stressed out. When they waste their one barbro or log, you can steal the show and a ton of damage with the miner tanking for your goblins. And if opponents are lacking fireball into skeleton dragons and evolved barbarians, they're going to get burnt to a crisp. Skeleton dragons are one of the most underrated cards in Clash Royale right now because of their huge health. And when they're played in a deck that's built-in bait, they're at their best. It's time to swarm our opponents as a relentless pest and assert dominance. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on any of the daily videos. Thanks to everyone that's using credit code SirTag to support the channel. Yo, we gotta get him avenged. Hopefully he doesn't get any avengement here, guys. We just want to take his tower and have no recourse. Okay, the guy's gonna go for a bowler first play. That mortar is not gonna accomplish much, but it does generate us a +1 elixir trade. And it also allows us maybe something to go in for barbarians on. Guys, I'm just relentlessly trying to find the positives in this situation where we get countered by one of the worst cards for us to face in the game. I think the worst thing for mortar is either gonna be cannon cart or earthquake. So luckily, I guess it wasn't that. We get our spear goblins down here on the right, and then we're gonna go in for a miner with the skeleton king. Yeah, tornado does end up cleaning up all the spear goblins, but if we can get the skeleton king ability near the tower, maybe some of the skeletons can sporadically spawn and force out some extra elixir, or we can kill the lumberjack. So we accomplish both things. The lumberjack isn't something that I really have to worry about, and then obviously I think that the baby dragon is not going to give him that much value because it's just going to die to the spear goblins. The bad thing about this is I legitimately have to fireball back a balloon so he can't freeze and kill me. Because if he froze on top of the tower there and then the balloon got like 2 more shots, it's just GG. You can't come back from that. You always have to preserve your tower when you're running control decks like us, because it's not like a golem deck where you can instantaneously take a tower every single time. I mean, we do have evolved barbarians and we do end up having the skeleton king for maximum damage potential, but still got to preserve our tower in more cases than not. So I'm going to go for a mortar here. High likelihood that he decides to go for a bowler. Totally fine if he does that. And we can just go skeleton dragons on the bowler and spear goblins on the inferno dragon. Main thing for me is not letting the spear goblins die or even get close to splash damage, because if the inferno dragon gets onto our tower with a freeze, it's an instant GG because I don't have any reset. I mean, I got fireball, but I mean, that's deep in my card cycle, and also a card that costs 4 elixir. So don't really want to be fighting freeze with fire, as weird as it sounds, because it's a 4-for-4 trade, and in the meantime, their freezed up units are going to be able to get a lot of extra value, right? Oh, no, wait. Oh my gosh. I literally dropped the goblin gang at the exact moment he dropped the barbarian. But because the goblin gang kind of loads into the game and it doesn't drop instantaneously, it saved my butt. Clash Royale thought they were nerfing that card when they made that change. It was actually a huge buff. That's pretty funny. All right, we're gonna get spear goblins down here. We're gonna go for skeleton dragons again, and then I wonder if we can just get him to go barbarian or make him mess up again. Because without the bowler in cycle, the main thing that I would be worried about is him getting the inferno dragon plus freeze on our tower, and he can't do much against the evolved barbarians if he has no bowler. So this is our time to shine. This is where we're gonna dime. And I think we can go in for like a mortar again, go in for a skeleton king, and just continuously apply pressure. Because if he doesn't get the bowler down, then obviously the mortar's going to lock on a tower. Oh, man, that was really close, actually. Jeez. All right, wait, no, it did lock onto the tower. How was I not even able to identify that? Wait, we can go for skeleton dragons here? The mortar's loading up value? I was so shocked for a second. I was like, oh, I was dejected. I was like looking at it. I was like, card's not doing what I wanted it to. It had one job, but it did pull through. And it's going to get another shot, too. Let's go. Okay, we can go in for a mortar here, and that should be able to pull the balloon. If you guys didn't know, that's one of my favorite things to do in Clash. Dropping the mortar in the middle and pulling the balloon as far as we possibly can. Oh, wow, this guy is just unloading pure pressure right now on us. I think I got to go for a skeleton king. I don't think I'm stopping the balloon. Oh, I did. Every interaction's going our way. What the heck? I mean, I'll take it. I'm not going to complain if it just wants to keep working out in my favor, right? That would be my favorite thing if we were able to snag the tower with the skeletons, but I don't think that's going to happen. All right, so we can go for evolved barbarians. We can go, yeah, I mean, I guess we got to go for evolved barbarians here. Just isolate the lumberjack and then go in for a mortar when we get the chance to go pull back the balloon, and then go in for either spear goblins or skeleton dragons. I guess we go spear goblins and skeleton dragons. I don't think we're allowed to do just one. We have to double up the fun. Spear goblins are able to kill that. Balloon doesn't lock onto our tower. We can go in for the goblin gang afterward to make min speed of the bowler. Go in for a miner in the back. I think the skeleton dragon's going to stay alive somehow too. This is so funny. Okay, all right, 2 fireballs and a mortar shot might win us the game, so I think that's what we're gonna roll with right now. Let's go in for our barbarians on top of the lumberjack. Try to kill that as quickly as we can. going for our Spear Goblins off to the side, away from the Skeleton Dragons. So we're trying to isolate everything. Okay, one Miner shot and then a Fireball, I think, wins us the game. Or the Mortar's just going to do it himself. Wait, what the heck? Homie had to freeze a Miner on defense. That's how dire the situation was. And we were able to thaw out the tower and collect the win. All right, so jump in the game here. This guy goes in for an Ice Spirit, jumps all over our Skeleton King, and he is going to go in for a aggressive Mighty Miner. So whenever I see Ice Spirit and Mighty Miner, I'm immediately expecting our opponent to have Hog Rider deck, which is not necessarily my favorite type of deck to play into when we've got Mortar, because usually it's paired with Earthquake, and Earthquake is the best counter in the game to a Mortar. You can't evade it. You just can't stop the Earthquake from countering the Mortar. So a bit tough for us to deal with, but we're going to make it happen. We're going to go for a Miner in the back because most of the time they're just going to have Log plus Earthquake. So they won't have a Tornado to go and galvanize a King Tower activation or be like, looking at it and be like, hey, wait, oh my gosh, the Skeleton Dragon splashed and it's still alive? That's awesome. We can go for Barbarians here, fully shut down the Hog Rider. No, he's going to go for a Firecracker. I think it's in my best interest to go for a Fireball on it. It should go right into the tower and the Fireball, so that's nice. Solid. We're currently up like 400 damage, getting the Barbarians counter pushing.
My soldiers push forward! My soldiers scream out! My soldiers rage!
Oh! Barbarian coming up clutch! That slap was super unexpected for me. I don't know if you guys ever have that happen. I try to diminish my expectations for Barbarians or counter pushing cards at low health. So when it happens, I'm excited, you know? But when it doesn't happen, it's not as disappointing. If you think that Barbarian's gonna get a hit and then your opponent zaps or logs it or whatever, and you're like, dang it. Or maybe you don't know necessarily the health. That's one of the most annoying things in the game. Oh, the Firecracker's gonna lock onto my tower, but you know what? If we just go for a Skeleton King ability and we splash through, we might be okay here. Because I'm pretty confident the Skeletons will do way more damage. Force out an Earthquake too, nice. This is getting way better for us, because now with no Earthquake, I bet you he goes in for some type of building. If he goes Ice Spirit, that's not going to be enough. Let's go for Spear Goblin so the Ice Spirit jumps onto that. So then the Ice Spirit is not going to be able to distract the Mortar. I don't know if you guys have ever done that, but I like stealing time away from my opponent. Even if the Ice Spirit is not necessarily a good thing for me to try to counter with Spear Goblins, it makes sense in the parameters of keeping the Mortar at a position where our opponent always has to scramble for counters. That's the reason why I like doing that. Just because obviously my opponent's going to be like, wait, that Ice Spear was meant to go and counter that. And then it's not anymore. He's expecting enough time to get that bomb tower down, right? So, okay. I guess he's going to bomb tower here. We can go in for a Skeleton King ability, which isn't necessarily the best bet. It might be able to kill the Mighty Miner if he doesn't want to. Oh my gosh. He's going to lose the left-hand tower? This is such a joke. And he didn't even choke. I just think the Evo Barbs did that amount of damage. Like, they're just broken. That's insane. I was working on the right-hand tower the entire game. I thought I was making steady progress. And then the Evo Barbs are like, Jake, why you work so hard? Game's meant to be easy. Just spam evolutions and win. It's a strategy that I didn't expect to work as well, but you know what? Here we are. It's time to climb up the leaderboards and continue to dominate the competition. So we're sitting at 2,700 in the world after that game, and top 2,000 should never be this easy. All right, we got a game against the Sparky, sir. So first things first, he's sparking my interest with the Sparky, so I want to see what his deck is. I'm going to go for the Spear Goblins, try to get some cheeky chip, and we get an Electro Wizard, but the disposition of Electro Wizard did not sporadically spark electricity on top of all of our Spear Goblins. So we got one Spear Goblin locking on the tower, and we force out a Mini P.E.K.K.A after. So definitely a Sparky deck, right? There's no other deck in the game that would have Electro Wizard and Mini P.E.K.K.A in the same deck. At least, not something that would come to my mind, at least. So we're going to get that Miner down in front of the Skeleton Dragons, and we'll see if we can get a Fireball. Oh, what? What are those Skeleton Dragons doing? I swear they splashed onto like 2 individual minions. What? That's so whack. I think that they concentrated their combined 2 brain cells on 2 minions. That's not good. Oh, jeez. All right, well, Skeleton Dragons are dead, and the Skeleton King is going to follow suit. I guess they were dead to begin with, but they died again. Not going to be resurrected for a while. All right, we can get that Mortar down, and if he decides to go in for a Goblin Giant, we want to play just ice solid defense. If we mess this up, we're going to lose, so can't really let Sparky shots come through, especially when your opponent might end up having the one with like arrows and zap in the same deck, so that's one of the scariest features for us to play into. We're going to have Bomber. Wow. I guess he's so scared of Evo Barbs now. I bet you he's going to have Fireball too. You know what? Let's go Skeleton Dragons instead of dropping the Barbarians, and then we can click the Skeleton King ability to distract the Mini P.E.K.K.A, and he's got a Rocket Sparky! Genuinely, I've never seen this in Clash Royale before. I've never seen such a ludicrous strategy. We get Spear Goblins down on the Bomber and finish it off that way. And then, you know, we're actually winning the game despite it looking really bad and weird and uncomfortable. We're making it happen. So it's always an adventure when you're playing Clash and you play into people that've got arrows and rocket with random decks. It's good though, because the rocket can't necessarily get good positive elixir trades into our mortar. I guess if we clumped up a lot of stuff, it could, but I'm not going to let that happen. So let's go for our barbarians on the right-hand side if he decides to go in for a Sparky in the left. I don't know. I think he's going to... Yeah, he did it. I knew his card cycle. I knew his elixir count. It just would make sense for me. Then we can fireball on top of the bomber and then maybe get him to go in for something else. I just want the barbarians to take out his entire tower. Is that too much to ask for? I think it might be. It might be a little bit much more to ask for. We can get the mortar in this position because it is going to go and pull the giant, and probably going to arrows on this. So we're going to go Goblin Gang, so it's going to take a lot more damage for him to kill. And then we can go for our Evo Barbs after, and I think we blast the Sparky before it hits us. Nice! We're actually defending out here. And the Evo Barbs have huge health. So they just soak up all the damage from the minions. So you guys might be looking at me and being like, Jake, how did you defend that? And realistically, it shouldn't be possible, but evolutions allow you impossible defenses once you've got, like, their maximum value. All right, we can go for a fireball whenever he goes in for his minion horde. Otherwise, I just want to sacrifice the mortar again. Yeah, I wasn't going to go for a Skeleton King in front. It just wouldn't have made sense. Go Goblin Gang maybe. But I would prefer to drop Goblin Gang in the middle on top of all of his other stuff. And then we're going to go for Spear Goblins here as well. And then I think we eat most of the damage and we're okay. The mini pack is going to die. We can go for Barbarians after the Spear Goblin gets annihilated. And then we can go in for a Miner plus... I guess Mortar Push, and every time that the Sparky locks onto the Miner and it ignores the Barbarians, you guys have already seen that before. It's awesome. Barbs are putting in work. Again, the Barbarians are a win condition. It's not even the Miner, and we burst down his tower again for quite a clutch win with the Fireball. Hey, we got a game against Nexo Fighter. So he's a part of the New World Order, and you guys already know, if he's going to start something fresh, we're going to give him a big bashing with our Barbarians and make sure he starts off getting clobbered. So, unfortunately... he's going to have Witch. I hate that card because I don't have another small spell. It's not like I can Fireball plus Zap to kill it. I've only got Fireball, so that Witch is always going to stay alive. Maybe we can go Miner here and try some shenanigans with the Spear Goblins. And if we can just kill the Witch, then I'm okay. Awesome. We've also got the weirdest push ever. Have you guys seen a Miner Spear Goblins plus Skeleton Dragons push? The thing just is asking to get arrowed, zapped, or snowballed, but I guess my opponent didn't have that, and he had to go for the uncomfortable Valkyrie Inferno Dragon. Like, he over-allocated 8 elixir to kill stuff that was already dead and just bait cards. Okay, he's got Boulder. It makes sense now. His deck is very uncomfortable and clunky to cycle. So, in that type of situation, you do want to go Goblin Gang because, I mean, the thing is, I want to redirect his attention. I also know that he's not going to get back to the right card cycle. Okay, we're going to go Skeleton Dragons here. We're going to immediately go for Skeleton King. Got to get Spear Goblins down when I can. Dropping it off to the side. He's got Freeze as well. Jeez, dude. He cheesed me so hard, and it worked out because I didn't have a small spell like Log in my deck. That's one of the few downsides of this deck is playing against a Graveyard player, a lot of times they're going to have matchup advantage because you don't have a good way of killing all the Graveyard Skeletons as they accumulate. But I guess the counter push is popping off too. So if your opponent does overcommit with a Graveyard Freeze and Single Elixir and then they get a lot of damage on your tower, maybe you shouldn't be stressed. Maybe you should just be looking at it and be like, yeah, you know, he shouldn't have done that. He messed up. All right, we're going to go for Evolve Barbarians directly on top. I don't think that even if he's got Valkyrie plus Witch, which is a total of 9 elixir, it still gets deleted by 5 elixir Barbarians and we get counter push. That's remarkable. You know what? I think we've won this game because all we have to do is apply a little bit more pressure on the right. If that mortar locks like it does, there's no way. There's 0% chance that he's going to come back in this one. The dude traded a ton of tower damage to take the tower in the left, and when you go all in like that, you are definitely going to lose the game. GG and well played, and we'll jump on the next one. The guy was pretty tilted at the end, laughing a bit, but you know, if you go Graveyard Freeze at the start, you can't expect to win the match with such a cheesy strategy. And we've made our way to 2,100 in the world with Mortar. This guy's got Elite Barbarians in the banner. You already know that that deck is utterly toxic. So we're going to see what he's going to have. Usually when people like Elite Barbarians, they're running like a Sparky deck or a Bridge Spam deck. But after we see Princess, I think he's deviating from that strategy. Homie's probably got a Log Bait deck. So we're going to go for a Fireball on the Princess and also the... Yeah, I think if we can blast the Furnace away, then we can lock onto the tower. Nah, that's not going to happen. I had big plans. We got shut down by the Barbarians and the Fire Spirit distraction. It's aight though. So we know that he's not going to end up having like a Princess to go and finish off the Skeleton Dragons. It's not going to really be possible. We'll see if he's got a Fireball. Could be bad for us if the Skeleton Dragons aren't able to lock onto the tower, but they do. Nice. thing about the Skeleton Dragons, their bones got hardened by the fact that, I don't know, they just had a lot of calcium, they drank a lot of milk, and after the buff to their health, they never die to anything anymore. Even Zap plus arrows can't kill Skeleton Dragons, and it used to, but now the Skeleton Dragons survive at barely any health just to troll the opponent. So I'm going to go for a Skeleton King here. Remember, he's going to have Furnace and Cycle. Could also go for Barbarians if he wanted to. Oh, wow. I was hovering the Fireball for Barbarians, but I'll take the Minion Horde too. No doubt about that. Nice value. All right, so the Skeleton King is probably going to force out a log, and then if we go Goblin Gang in the back, he's not going to be able to log on everything at once. Oh, he's just going to eat the damage. He's really about that life. Dang. I didn't think he would do that. Anyway, we're going to go for a Miner so we can keep the Spear Goblin, one Spear Goblin alive, hopefully. Oh, wow. That was a pretty optimistic decision, guys, to say the least. Somehow I thought we wouldn't lose the Spear Goblin to the Fire Spirit. Okay, that's decent. Well, at least we're able to go in for the Spear Goblins off to the side to go and pull the rest of his Fire Spirits, and, well, one of the Fire Spirits. And yeah, it's fine. It's good. And we cleaned up the rest of the Skellies too, without taking as much damage as I thought it would. We know he's going to end up having Minion Horde back in cycle. I bet you he does it. Oh, Barbs again. All right, so, I mean, everyone in their meta is running Evo Barbs or Evo Knight, even after the nerfs to the cards, so it's kind of cool to see a little bit of an adaptation, though. He's not going to be running, like, the Golem deck with Evo Barbs or one of the more standard ones. My man is legitimately packing a giant Evo Barbs deck with Minion Horde and Hog Rider, like I've never seen before. I don't think you guys have seen this before either, unless it's got Sparky in there, which I feel like he probably can't fit. Just doesn't seem like it would work since he's got Furnace instead. Wait, he doesn't have arrows in cycle. What is he going to do? The Goblins are breaking through and doing delicious value. That's so much damage. We go Skeleton King here on the left again. We can go Evo Barbs on the Princess. And maybe he can go and sneak through with a Mortar. No, I'm just going to go for Evo Barbs, right? If he goes for his own Barbarians or he goes Minion Horde, we just Fireball. That's a terrible trade for our dude. He's going to get roasted right now. We can take 2 towers. I think he just gave up. He's still trying, actually. You know what? Got to give the homie credit. He doesn't want to lose the game just yet. He's tried everything that he has, but look at that. He's trying to salvage a tower on the right when the tower on the left is about to fall too. We're simultaneously spamming on every side. So I'm going to go for a Miner here. Just need one little hit, and with the Skeletons out of cycle, there's no way that he can block it. The GG and well played. Let's keep cruising up. That was the definition of a dominant win. All of the mid-ladder menaces get stomped by the Skeleton King, Mortar, and Evolved Barbarians defenses. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more daily videos, and have an amazing rest of your day.